Well, a lot of promise between these two. This is your first battleground for this best of three. Sunset up next, and Corrode. If we end up there, I'll be very excited. But first, we'll have to see the trade out of maps, starting with NAVI on the defensive side here on Icebox, and the identities between the two shifting between having the Sage on NAVI and the Omen on the other side. We'll see how that evolves. As we're already on the attack side, it looks like a net being spread. Noise on the B site, wall there as well, drone sent through. But the idea is to push A. That's been left a little lighter defended with just Angel there. And there was a moment where NAVI looked to push mid, but they've halted and started to shift out of that A site. A lot of space for the taking for Apeks.
Yeah, they seem to almost have some sort of a read that there's going to be a play towards middle, eventually starting to aggress through that control, and with Angel already having a little bit of extra information, they're actually not going to play off of that. Just looking to come back and support their IGL. There is an incredibly late lurk going through from Avova. He's going to look to try and wrap round behind everybody, but it's all going to come down to timing. If his teammates can hold off Na'Vi for long enough, this will be perfect, and I think they should.
They've already bought enough. He's got an angle and takes down Hero. Flank protection, well, traded out for the info, I suppose, but players falling across the board. NAVI barely a spark on their side as Apeks cleanly take round number one.
Yeah, they basically played for just that little wraparound at the end, and I really like it. Just waiting for Avova to get back in on that flank, and he was so patient with his play as well. I feel like a lot of players will just go a little bit early in those sort of positions, maybe not have the same level of faith that he did when it came to his Apeks teammates. And the second he finds those couple of kills, I think there was also a lovely reveal that came through as well from Molsey, just to let him know where everybody was. That round was already over. And while for Na'Vi, of course, this is their map choice, as it was said on the desk, a map that, even when they haven't been in the best of form, has still looked pretty good for them. Either it's been victories or incredibly close losses, so you kind of expect them to take this one over the line, but they're coming up against a very different Apeks to what we saw last stage.
Oh, that they definitely are. I mean, bringing Penny in as well, someone who's tasted that international stage many a time. More recently as well over in Toronto, but going back to the V1 days as well, this guy has been around a hell of a long time.
Like eating the grass, you know, like footballers and tennis players sometimes they pick up. So he's been eating the stage. Yeah, like if they're like
sanitary.
Yeah, like if a tennis player wins himself a match, they might like eat a little bit of the grass.
Oh, LEDs in his stomach, perhaps. The microplastics are going off. Olizera, great space taken. This is a problem. Already we're seeing NAVI have so many gaps, and this is a low-buy round, of course, but if this continues, you will certainly be seeing a quick matchup in favor of that attacking side. But talking about Penny, him up against Alexic as well, certainly to the EMEA stage newcomers, although Penny obviously playing with an EMEA squad over in Toronto, standing in for Team Liquid. It will be an interesting battle to see evolve, because I think both of these players step onto that stage with some pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, both with a point to prove. I think for very different reasons. Obviously, Alexic has kind of been brought in as like, is this guy going to be able to help save Na'Vi? Because obviously expectations of this org are to be at international events. Like that's been it for a long, long time. They signed the FPX roster back in the day, one of the few Masters winners from EMEA. And yeah, it never really had the same level of success. They've made all these roster changes, signed some pretty big players as well, and it's yet to really deliver. So he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders as a youngster. Come on, another youngster still in the mix. Hero will start this round off.
A solid opening, but again, that gap after they pick off one. Luckily, Olizera's not able to make anything of it, and Hero eventually drops him down before they lose players on that B site. The defense standing ready for this push, as now only 3 players remain on Apeks, all in the same angle, and it's Alexic to light up the scoreboard. His first double there, and an in-zone flawless for NAVI. That's quite a way to bounce back into this.
Yeah, I want to see this guy succeed. As I said, when watching Go Next, and it was their sort of run through Ascension, they were incredibly unlucky not to at least make it to the playoff stage, losing in, I think, one of the earlier matches in incredibly sort of close fashion. I think they were even the one team that managed to beat Apeks. So I think that, again, we've seen some of the other players, like Profek, come through from that roster. And the same for Mini. But yeah, an in-zone flawless. But maybe a round that shouldn't have been. I do feel like that was a little bit of jitters maybe being shown from Olizera.
Yeah, missed shot from Olizera. Avova falling early to a spam through the smoke. chalk it down to look for NAVI. Will they get lucky again, though? Angels being caught, pushed up close after Xiao falls early. And now NAVI, a 3 versus 5, they find themselves in the same spot their opponents were at the start of the previous round.
Yeah, and it leaves Apeks completely alone, needing a hero play. And he started off well, 0 damage taken and ahead of the opposition gone. I do like this though from Apeks. They're trying to sort of sell the idea that maybe they've gone back, but NAVI aren't biting on it. They have gambled 3 players now within this A site, and that's exactly where Apeks look to push.
Alexic seems to be very reliable so far! And a 3rd kill on the tally! They're not expecting Ruxic to also be close. And now Malzy's alone and Hero waiting inside the smoke. A great round for NAVI, losing those 2 opening picks on the defense. It's often a death sentence. Absolutely.
I'm not giving the credit to the rest, I'm sorry, but the first 2 go down with, I think it's Xiao just doesn't expect the Omen to just TP at the last second. And then it comes down to, okay, let's leave our newfound youngster on the site alone and see what he can do. And hey, 3 kills when the whole squad is pushing up against you. That's very impressive.
Yeah, I suppose not so much a great round from NAVI, a great round for
yeah, there you go.
NAVI.
There you go.
All thanks to Alexic. Like I said, he'd been reliable so far, but getting a triple in a round like that has bailed NAVI out of a bad situation and stolen what should have been a good start for Apeks. Now the defense, they have to make good on this though. They have to keep building up those rounds. And this time at least, no early aggression punished. Much more normal round at play.
Yeah. Outlaw in for Alexic, of course. Reading into the economy of the opponents, realizing they're not going to have the finances for heavy shields, so he has a chance to farm already with the Blade Storm as well, so if things go a little bit pear-shaped, he has the opportunity. Of course, for Apeks, they're going to want to get off to a good start on this attack. It's normally where you see most teams get the majority of their rounds. Hero, though, already aggressive, and it's another freebie. He'll take a bit of damage on the way out, but comfortable in the end.
Yeah, you'll certainly take that kind of a trade. Turret to watch for the mid push later on as well. You still have that orb to cut off info, but Apeks aren't going to pressure mid. They're moving straight into this A site, and look at the stack up. There's 4 players here. The Outlaw on the other side of the map. Everybody else ready and waiting for this play. Apeks are running into a trap, and it's being sprung. Penny and Malzy, the only ones able to find a glimmer of hope. And that is a great read from NAVI as well. Bit of mid-aggression, reset into the full A-hold, and rely on Alexic, who so far has been a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, it is interesting, though, that you've brought in this sort of youngster who doesn't necessarily have that same level of experience. And we're already seeing like a, right, you go hold that whole side of the map and we'll just do the rest. It's like, it clearly shows how much faith they already have in this kid. Now, I'm excited to see what we're going to get, of course, for the other side of Apeks. Definitely not the sort of round they were looking for. That wasn't a low buy, that was a heavy investment. They've not really found anything from it. Blade Storm will be in for Penny.
No charges.
We'll see if he can do anything here.
There's the info. Spots 1 and drone goes out to clear the other corners. So far when they've pushed this site, there have been a lot of players from NAVI ready and waiting. Again, they go marching in, the space open, but a big setup waiting for them as they push deeper. Blade Storm already out of the round. That's a lot of the hope, a lot of the promise for this squad. And look at the position Alexic is in, ready and waiting for this cross. A freebie with a headshot connected, clean as can be. You highlighted the Hunter's Fury there for both sides, but at this point, I'm not sure that NAVI will feel it necessary.
Yeah. I thought maybe they use it just to deny the plant. That's what a lot of teams will do, even in rounds like this, just to make sure that time doesn't tick away. They haven't opted for him. I'll be honest, it doesn't look like they need it. This is very comfortable. I'd be very surprised if Malzy is going to pop his ult for this sort of scenario. He was hoping to try and catch someone off, but hasn't. It will be 3 kills coming through for Hero, and those ultimates really starting to farm up for the side of NAVI.
And again, there was a moment of 2-1 where Apeks were in that 3v5. It looked like they'd connected all the dots, but it's fallen apart. The early lead no longer to be. NAVI up double the rounds, but Rifle's now coming out for that attack side. Hunter's Fury is there, but it's going to be needed. Malzy's going to need to keep it because Hero has the lockdown to play with. They can block off all that space, deny a push, and without that Hunter's Fury, you are not going to be able to do anything about it.
Don't overthink it. That's my job.
But at least they have that to fall back on. This is a round, though, for Apeks that we need to see them connect, or NAVI will be running away with this early half.
But they're already in a very good spot, credits-wise. Wow, they're going to try and just run through the smoke, and what heroes met them with 3. What a round already from him. Alexic with a missed shot, under a little bit of pressure, but he's going to fake the idea that he's escaped, and Penny's just dashed into a wall. I don't think he's going to get an easier kill than that today. Well, good luck, Mosey. I'm sure you got this one.
Still that Hunter's Fury at least, you know?
Yeah, shock dart him.
Nope.
Don't.
That's not
That's
him.
the warning shock dart. Soon he'll send it. Well, he doesn't have enough.
Yeah, he already used the first one. That's unfortunate. And wrapped around now by Ruxic. Right now, it's NAVI making every play correctly after a little bit of a shaky opener. An in-zone flawless in round number 7. And a 5-2 lead, credit secured.
It does feel like, yeah, it's weird that came out as another in-zone flawless. Like, there have been a couple of them, but ultimately not necessarily ones that we expected. Of course, this is our new boy on the block, Alexic. A few facts for you. He played for Z10. He obviously was with Go Next, who went through Ascension and managed to win the E-Split, and was a former semi-pro footballer. Which is definitely interesting. Weren't you a previous semi-pro basketball player?
Almost, Tom.
Almost. It was very close.
Yeah, my shoes let me down.
It was a great play.
Yeah, well, I guess
Vinny's going to break that one down for you, don't worry.
The results speak for themselves, Tom, here. I think your insight goes a long way.
Yeah, you know. Oh, let's see. It's given a bit of a chance for Danito to try and correct the ship. As these 5 rounds, other than, as you mentioned, the one where Alexic kind of helped save NAVI, the rest of them have not been particularly close. Already, Hunter's Fury has been popped, I think just off the back of the drone going through, and that's Angel just finding an opener on Molesey. That's going to be that Hunter's Fury gone again for Apeks. They do have a few more ults, and it seems like Angel has had enough of his youngsters picking up the kills. He's going to get into a more aggressive position.
They're going to walk right into him. Oh, he couldn't even see them! I don't know what gave him the read there. An itchy trigger finger, and he's found the kill as a result. Another stacking up corpses, not even on the B site, just outside it. The spike halted in its tracks, and Olizera, you talk about him as the newcomer, someone with a lot of promise. Well, this will be a play to write his name in the history books if he makes this work. A 1v5 ults online for NAVI.
30 seconds left.
And what should now be a 6-2 start coming out of that pause as well.
I like how you said should.
Listen, I've seen stranger things. If this was Sugetsu, I think it's locked in. Let's see if Olizera can fill those boots.
That's a fair comparison, isn't it? The guy who's just joined the league for the first time versus a veteran who's won a Masters. Yeah, you know, if he could do that in 10 seconds, wow, that'd be really good, wouldn't it? Yeah, he's not going to. He's going to die, and it's another in-zone flawless. You know, it should be 6-2.
It should be. It should be. And somehow NAVI managed to get it across the line.
No idea how.
5v1.
I like this. Yeah, this. I feel like there was a moment where he went, oh, what if he walked through just then? I'll just shoot just in case.
Evolva's got to be human now. That's a couple times we've seen him just taken out of the play when he doesn't see anyone. He doesn't have a read. He's just walking about.
They didn't even see him.
Yeah, he's just executed. And 6-2 start, economy in favor, ults online for NAVI. It's Apeks desperately in need of an answer here. Again, at 2-1, hey, they were in a 3v5.
They need a kill. Like, an answer.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Like, there's now been 3 flawless rounds already of the NAVI 6.
2 in a row.
Like, it's just damaging. And now they're even... I feel like some of the ults that NAVI are using now are just to cycle them. It's like Angel just popped his off the contact of a drone. Now, yeah, a little bit of pressure and they put the Viper's pin. It's because otherwise they're just holding them. And look how aggressive they already are. They've got 2 players in deep space on A. They've got the Viper's pit down on B. Maybe NAVI get punished just for how aggressive they currently are, but they have an absurd amount of space.
Still looking to play through the pit. The AWP almost claiming a kill. 20 HP left. And it will be Angel swinging from up top to close that out. 2 players pushed on A. Leaves Apeks with no other choice. They have to commit to this site. And there is a gap around that side of the pit. But Xiao's watching it. And now it's slowed. Can't quite get through. Hunter's Fury sent through as a last-ditch attempt to deal with this. And it does catch the reveal. But no one's there to execute Ruxic. The pit stays up. Xiao finds one. Spray almost takes Ruxic down. And he will eventually allow that pit to fall with a counter pit in play. He now has the uphill battle. Fighting through, he'll find Penny. But if Ova stays alive, keeps that pit in play, but the lockdown will send him scurrying. 5 seconds. That's enough for the pit to fall. He's going to be fighting back into open space with 12 seconds left, with 3 opponents to take down. And again, the choice is to lose the round or lose the gun. Avova out of here. And 7-2 on the board for NAVI with at least a rifle saved. And I guess the silver lining here, it wasn't a flawless.
Right. Yeah, that is some real silver lining when you... They used 3 ults in that round? No, I don't think they used the...
2 at least.
Yeah, they didn't use the Blaze Storm, but they did use the Hunter's Fury to try and get an opener. And yeah, then the Viper's Pit, which I think they got 1 kill within. It is not looking good, in case you hadn't already noticed. And I think starting to see a little bit of frustration. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen a second pause, because these rounds have been so brutally sort of clean for the side of NAVI. And don't get me wrong, it seems like, especially Hero and Alexic are just having a whale of a time, but expected this to be a slightly closer game, especially, obviously we're only at the very beginning of the season, but we're talking about teams and whether they can make it to champs will revolve around, okay, not even points, probably more likely that they'll have to actually finish first or second. And for Apeks, making it to champs keeps them in the league. Otherwise, even if they have to finish at minimum a top 8, otherwise they are, well, instantly relegated. So this is not a good sign. 7-2 up. Sure, it's not their map choice, but it's more the manner that they've been losing these rounds than the actual result.
Angel's been practicing the shock darts. Almost took himself down with that one.
It's got to give him a chance.
A little early on that, but Penny still gets tagged up. Space taken by Apeks. They're on site. It's only Angel to deny. He's up top. Doesn't want to push through that smoke without his teammates being by his side. Now a couple starting to rotate in. Alexic, the 4th man on the site, but the first to find a pick.
He still has an out.
With Avova down. And again, it's the right round forward, that reinvestment after losing 2 rifles. They pick up the Outlaw. They know light shields if Apeks invest, and they're going to invest with the scoreline that's in play. Blade Storm takes down Batu. Who's covering it? Who's looking? Nobody. It's a sea of isolated islands, but they're all showing up right when they need to. Pressure on though. Defuse could be underway. Jump up from Penny is caught, and now it's Ollie's era. He has to run. He has to flee with the wall, blocking him off. There's nothing he can do. The round won by NAVI. There was a moment where it looked like Apeks had a chance. 3 quick kills, but NAVI still come out on top.
Yeah, definitely the closest of the lot, but when Hero's still alive, I think you don't have to worry too much. 14-2. The guy has come back into VCT EMEA Stage 2.
No need for that. No need for that whatsoever.
Hey,
that's cruel.
Almost.
That's
like,
just cruel.
You know. I don't know. I think that was an average Jonas life.
Someone was giggling requesting that replay. Yeah, and then put the 3rd person in slow-mo, maybe? Nah, no, leave the slow-mo this time.
I like how that's the closest round for Apeks of the replay is Angel messing up a shock dart. Oh, dear. Well, 10 seconds in, and 2 players already dead. It is not looking like a change to the tide. It's looking like Apeks are getting swept. Alexic. Well, his dash is going to disappear. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to stick around, but plays a little bit safe, still has Ruxic to support. The other players are all sort of fighting in mid, and Penny trying to pressure. He's done well. He's going to take a little bit of extra damage, but they have managed to find a couple of picks. Hero already in position, though, and the team is looking to join him.
A shame that AWP is so far back. For Penny to recover that would give them a real opportunity here with these long-range angles on the retake, and players already filling in that space.
Player standing.
Well, he won't pick up anything but a shot to the head. Hero with a double. He has been on fire so far. Alexic has been reliable. And on the other side, there's not much to report. Apeks are looking like they're falling flat in most of these fights.
I like how there was the talk at the beginning of like, yeah, Xiao, he can just play anything. Well, at the moment, he's playing sub. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. He's just chilling. 2 and 5.
Hey, he put that wall down.
That was a good wall. It was a good wall. And he defused behind the wall.
He did.
He defused behind the wall,
MVP.
you know? Apeks had the lowest icebox post-plant win rate. Don't think it's improving. 9 and 2.
Get out of my way.
The 2 was the first 2.
On the upside, at least they can argue sample size because it's not like they've planted most of the time. So,
great.
The stat might be bad, but hey, there haven't been many post plants.
You really are bringing a lot of silver linings today.
I am. Listen, I'm working on my positivity here.
Okay.
As I imagine Apeks are.
Yeah, one of us has. For them. And hey, you know, at least going in with pistols, they got a higher pistol win rate.
Could double the round wins.
There you go, 52.8.
I think if we pulled up the rifle win rate for this map, it would be
0.
a 0 versus 100. So, not the best for what comes after these next two, but hey, some promise here. And I think it's important for them to have that little bit of a flair. So far, they felt individually outmatched in so many of these battles. This isn't somewhere I come in and say, wow, Navi, the calls have been great. Like that 4-man stack up on A that Apeks ran into, that was around 1 off of the cerebral element. But then we move past that, and almost every other round was individuals outmatching what was on the other side.
There was a round where 2 players pushed A, took the whole map control. It got to a point where Navi started disrespecting them, and they are a team that the second that happens, the game just feels like it's over until you shut them down. Already, a lot of early sort of posturing from Navi, like playing some of those fights in middle. Even sending their Jet solo again. It does feel like at times that Alexic is being used as a sentinel, as the rest of the team currently build into an A site, which is very open. Only one man there, and that will be Avova. And it does seem like they're starting to make that realization. The rotation coming through, but that's where they could go walking into Alexic.
Well, they've at least got the site control here for Navi. Plant in. They've left it quite late, but time not going to be a problem. Apeks gearing up for a full retake. All 5 players ready and waiting at the gates in just a moment. Some damage dealt already with Ollie's Era on half. Still not that one shot to the Sheriffs, which is important, with a few of them brought through for Navi. Already gotten up to the wall. Alexic finds one from further away. Time is ticking. They need to get in there, and it's a flurry of frags for Navi until Malsey and Penny can step up to the plate. Hero, 10 HP, most hope, sits with Angel, and they know where he is, but Hero, 13 health, miles away, and it's the Sheriff that puts a nail in Apex's coffin, 11-2. They needed that pistol.
Can't believe you said it, I'll be honest. It mostly sits with Angel when Hero's alive. He could have had 1 HP, and there could be a Molotov flying towards his head, he'd still get 2.
19-3 right now. Like, this is outrageous performance.
Yeah, it has been very, very comfortable, to say the least.
Keep it cool.
You add up the bottom 4 players of Apeks, and they're 1 ahead of Hero. And that in round 2 or 3 might be all right, but round 14, not so much. We're already seeing that Outlaw back into play again, and Penny pushing with no real support. They haven't fully invested into this round, so they're still going to try and play the buy round at least, but it does mean that this buy kind of stinks. And while for NAVI, they're not even going for the normal, like, oh, let's save a weapon or two, and then if we lose a gun, we can buy back. There's no point. They're just going to try and win out these rounds, get this one over and done with a move to Sunset. Well, we'll have to hope there's a little bit more. Nice shot, at least, from Batu. Even for Apeks at this stage, maybe just getting a couple of rounds to get the confidence going might be better than just being blasted as they have.
Well, they're going to have to hope for that. Not in this one, though, unless Batu keeps going like that. Nice little double from him, but they've still got a lot of powerful weapons to face off against, and it's not a battle that they're favored in. 12-2. 10 rounds in a row needed for Apeks. Now, listen, I've seen it before in the previous half.
Yeah, here.
But
12 rounds in a row.
It's now 12 in a row, exactly.
Exactly. 10's not even that much.
10, that's a portion of what their opponents just found. You could say it's anyone's game.
No, I don't think you can.
I'm not sure why you would, but you could. You have free will.
You could say that sentence.
You have free will. Those
you
words
would be wrong.
Could be said.
Yeah, you can. You could say whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe you shouldn't, but you could.
Oh, my bad.
Well, 12-2. Alexic only has a sheriff in this round. That's a positive. That's something. NAVI are actually playing it relatively safe with their economy and not throwing everything into this round. Or they just think they can win the round anyway. One of the two. Probably the second.
Might be the latter, yeah. Yeah. The way things have gone, I think you might be spot on. Apeks, a team that have experienced nothing but losses. I think it's 7 losses in a row when it comes to VCT, EMEA. 10 overall for NAVI. I mean, they're not the best of spots, but 4 out of 10 wins. They've tasted victory. Apeks still hungry for that. And the drone, it is going to spot one waiting outside. It's the Killjoy, though. This could very well be the lurk.
That's a little bit unlucky because they are posturing to eventually go towards this A site. But spotting Killjoy almost tells you the opposite. There's likely that this will be a lurk. They haven't budged, though. Keeping 3 players on this side of the map, NAVI is ultimately going to be walking into the heaviest stacked and where the weaponry should favor Apeks at least versus this man here. That's why he's going to take contact, look for that initial fight, already spots a couple. The time too low for NAVI to make any other decision. They will have to keep going this way.
Chips in the night and mid, it all comes down to that. And they're going to lose Ruxic. Now this battle much more uphill with 12 seconds on the clock. These kills need to come in quickly, and it's all Apeks. 8 seconds on the clock, and the Sheriff is the last man standing. An in-zone flawless for Apeks, but it's only a 3rd round.
It's the beginning.
All right, calm down.
This is their moment. The time to turn the tide.
You sound like
Apeks.
Taco on Nuke.
Did you win?
No, of course not.
You never know. If they do now turn around, I'm just going to clip that bit on its own, none of the rest.
Yeah, perfect.
Just hope that no one on Apeks is watching the VOD. But hey, energy's still high. Ollie Zera get himself an extra couple of kills. There is still a purchase. Shao now going to be onto an SMG, which also might be fine. We've been in the backpack for a lot of this game, but going to be looking at Hero. Alexic and Ruxic, they have been the 3 to really dominate the fight so far. Angel's been doing all right as well, to be fair. 10 and 6. See, he can go positive.
And those shock darts have been something else, huh? That one right there, though, it does actually land. It deals a bit of damage.
Oh.
Penny still lurking around, finds one. Alexic down, jump up on the box, punished as well.
Okay.
Penny, he's here, defending the site. Not quite alone, but you'd think it looking at the kill feed as he picks up another. It's the ace on the cards. The ammo runs dry. A 4th round for Apeks, nonetheless. A great performance from Penny, and now they're starting to heat up on that side of the stage.
Oh, it would have been an EMEA debut ace. That would have been lovely. Now makes himself positive at least. And you know what? 12-4 up. Game's starting to get a little bit tight. Happy needs a word. He spotted them things he didn't like, Mitch, in those 2 rounds that they lost. And We're going to tap into that now. He's just told them to stop losing and get back
Stop dying to Penny.
Yeah, don't
let
see
him
where
get
Penny
4
is,
kills.
go the other way.
Smart man. I don't want a couple of those. It was our game, or at least a much closer one. That could bounce them back into the series, especially with their map pick up next. We come into this round, and it will be a low buy across the board. It will be Penny, same as Alexic. He's gone for that Outlaw. An Angel will already be dropped early on. That Cloud Burst fading, but the shots don't land. Blade Storm online. Alexic invested immediately. They can afford rifles in the next. No need to save it, and it might give them a chance in this round.
Still feels fairly unlikely, but he's had some pretty explosive rounds so far. Looking like after being spotted on this side of the map, they actually used the res. Okay.
That's a lot more commitment. I mean, I already look at the Blade Storm. It's like, okay, maybe you won't have much use in the next, so put it in. The res, though, that seems like a bit of a head scratcher. Navi clearly feeling confident.
Yeah, yeah, the round where most of them don't even have shields. Alexic, he wants this, he wants the fight. Well, those initial knives have not connected. He's only got 2 left. And now going to start selling the ruse of this A site, hoping that it will get them space. But thus far, it's obviously been very early in the defensive side, but we haven't seen massive rotations. That's a nice shot onto Batu, though. Now this ruse gets a little bit more interesting as he's going to look to face off against Olizero. On the other side of the map, though, Avova has already spotted the real deal. Even still, though, Alexic's still going! This man is as good as promised, but the spike has been lost on the other side anyway. He's got in and killed 3 on A, and they're still going to lose the round. There's just not enough time. They need to wipe them out in a second. Oh, he took a I can't believe it. It's a base take on.
Oh, no, he's good. He's good. All right, fantastic. So, Navi Apeks, we're about to see map number 2. It was not a good map number 1 for Apeks. I think that's pretty fair to say. Penny did look good, though. He was on fire. He had some crazy rounds. On the other side for Navi, everything was hitting. Hero was unbelievable. Alexic was there with some crazy plays. Coming into this map, I think the expectation is that Apeks get rolled, that they continue their loss streak here in VCT MEA, and it's them that have to prove us wrong in the pistol.
I do feel like they've normally been fairly good on their own map choices. I feel like that's where they put the prep in each time, but obviously with a roster change that can really have only started practicing after Toronto ended because of Penny obviously playing there, means that they won't have had a large amount of prep.
I mean, the concerning thing is on map number 1, the times that I can remember the most clear rounds where I thought they've been outplayed, they've been push and pulled. It was Apeks in the first 2 rounds, finding the gaps, getting behind Navi. So it's hard for me to then look back on that and think it was anything less than just individuals weren't showing up. But we've seen those bounce backs before. We've seen players step off the stage and come back reactivated. Let's hope that's what we get here.
Ruses, again, Navi is trying to sell these fakes. They've sent a Paranoia in towards Elbow, and they're just waiting for this play-in to be, but no one has really moved. In fact, Navi are trying this very, very late. They have got 18 seconds to try and make this move stick. The spike hasn't even made out of main yet. There's already multiple players here. Their clock is truly ticking down. I don't see any way that they should be even able to get onto the site. This has been seemingly a fun boy. He's going for a knife. He's going for a knife. Well, thankfully, this time, Avova is not peeking. Another wild ride of a round, but hey, Apeks have got another pistol.
Yeah, that was most of the rounds in the previous map, so it's important as well that they follow up with that round win. Still, I got worried that we were about to see a repeat of the closer of that previous map where Angel's in a 1v2 effectively with his teammate too far away before time runs out. And right here, shot lands 2 seconds and a Neon that slides just a little too far to get that fight onto Avova. If they win that, game over. Let's just forfeit and move on. Luckily, Apeks still come out of there with
you want
the
them
dub.
to Guild X, is what you're saying.
Yeah, oh god.
Well, 1-0. Penny looking for these aggressive fights. As you mentioned, it looked very good in that first map, even with the absolute trouncing that came through. And while for Olizero, I'm glad to see a couple of extra confidence picks. I think that was the main issue for him in the last map, was things went a little bit wrong early, and I don't think he ever quite recovered. for the other players. Angel's going to have that Sheriff in hand, hoping to do a little bit of extra damage, but ultimately this is looking incredibly clean.
Yeah, as it should be. There you go, you're in zone flawless. We saw one of those from Apeks in the previous map towards the end. Good to get it on the board early. An economy builder, a confidence builder, and a chance here with a decent amount of weapons brought through to do some damage coming into round number 3. We don't expect them to win it, but we can see them get rolled.
Right here.
Heavy shields across the board, of course, still expecting that Outlaw to be in play. The NAVI looking like more of a setup towards A this time around. Early presence challenge for by Alexic, but clearly had the info. It's a dive out from Avova.
Down A.
He's gone for the 1v1 fight, and well, he's taken down Angel, but trade was immediate.
It is one of their better weapons left on the ground. Still have a Vandal to fall back on, a Bulldog, a Spectre, and an Outlaw. Almost a full house on that side. Penny backing off. He's made the right read. They're closing in on that space. The Outlaw won't have any easy fights. Has to be the headshot or the shot in the fallback.
Ooh.
What a connection from Penny. That's the man advantage now. A solid start for Apeks in a round that still has so much promise. Ollie's Era, the one player you don't really want to see taking one of those fights, the Spectre in hand.
Here.
And he will avoid it. They're going back into this A setup. Back to the numbers.
Yeah, of course, they got the sensors. Oh, the walkthrough.
Nice.
It's
Spike down
not
A.
the prettiest from Rooksik, but the job was done. Swing. Oh, okay. Hero he's ended up
30
jumping. It is definitely a weird one for Navi, but hey, they'll take down the Apeks side. A 3-0, a 4 players alive, a lot of weaponry upgraded as well. They are off to a flyer in this map.
That was a great call from Penny as well. Realizing with this Outlaw, he wouldn't really have much to do when it comes to the push itself. They're going to smoke him off. They're going to make it very hard for him to find value. So he calls for Malsey, the other player with the Vandal, to come to him so he can slide in, open that space, draw their crosshair, and hope that Malsey can get the trade. And he does one better. Gets the kill before Penny goes down, leaving him on 5 HP. Penny recovers a rifle and stays aggressive. And that's a great sign for a team that just got rolled on the previous map to come in and still look confident. Batu, Penny showing up here in this one, and around it previously for Navi, you know, you wouldn't count them out with those pistols. They're barely having a heartbeat in this one, put to bed very early.
Yeah, I'm liking the early usage of the net as well from Batu. Of course, with that now regenerating over time, it really does hold a lot of value throwing it out early, and another in-zone flawless, squeaky clean for the side of Apeks, with Navi seemingly getting a taste of their own medicine.
Well, again, this is going to bring us back to that previous map with the perspective that, okay, if Apeks had found a foundation, had laid it thick or even thin in that first half, they could have built on it. But, you know, they didn't. They got 2 rounds, the pistol and the follow-up, so we wanted to see a connection. We wanted to see, so he's certainly delivering early on, but it's been a slow start for Navi. Couple of picks here or there, with the rounds slipping out of their grasp. Question is, can Apeks keep up this momentum?
Yeah, they had that sort of big individual early play from Alexic, which seemed to turn the tide, and well, maybe this will be the case once again. Already an opener onto Penny. The tough thing with what they're up against, though, is this Apeks composition has a ludicrous amount of delay. Like, you've got the Viper, you have all of those sensors, the potential of the wall and the net that can also go in. Then you have Omen as well, with those additional smokes. Even the stuns you could add in. And while this re-aggression into mid is something that we've seen a few times from Apeks, setting up that firing squad at top. Well, the drone, I don't think the drone did spot out Alexic. Now this could be interesting if he hits the timing. Malsey's not looking. The player on the other side is, well, Olizera's diligence is what keeps them with a man advantage here.
That's going to be needed as the push comes towards the B site. Site giving up at the wall, blocking it off. They're looking to hold on to control of market. Batu sees the barrel. They know the swing is ready. In fact, even Malsey a little further behind, but Batu gets the job done
Wall's just
himself.
got in.
Hero and Shao. The ultimate active here for Batu. It's not found anyone, but it's a deterrent. It keeps them back with the Viper wall up. There's no way, really, for this round to be secured. 15 seconds on the clock, a 2 versus 4, and a save call pulled into play by NAVI. But Avova is pushing up. All these arrows coming with him. They don't want these weapons to be carried through. Looks like Hero's ready and waiting, and he'll grab one in front of the wall.
Now comes down to just holding on to those additional weapons, but even still for NAVI as of yet, there really has been nothing. Apeks have been utterly dominant, and I kind of want to see them go for something a little bit more aggressive. The problem is they've been caught by the net whenever they have, but also they just seem to be quite disjointed. Like Angel there is alone, shoots something, there's a player just waiting on the other side. The players pushing through mid had basically the wall, what was it, with like 30 seconds left on the clock going down? It just left them in a position where they're just running out of time, and with a lot of reactive utility from Apeks, I feel like they do need to be picking up the pace a little bit just to force them to throw some of that a little bit earlier.
Well, it looks like NAVI will be picking up the pace indeed, but the stun caught. Alexic won't find anything at the start of this round. Movement towards the B site where the pit is down, they'll bypass it, and a cage gets them through the market. Now Olisera has pressure on him from both sides. Here's the Omen TP as well, but he's got a safe space to hang out inside of. Easy kill onto Ruxic, who was so desperately low, but Xiao drops the pit. It's giving them a chance. That op still to contend with, but spotted up close. Now Penny has the info as well. Gonna use his own wall, 1 shot left. Shorty comes in to hand, and he has just ran away, leaving his teammates to pick up the pieces. A 6-0 start for Apeks. Night and day compared to Icebox.
Well, I said they was pretty good at their own map choices, right?
It did, Tom. Well done.
Didn't expect it to be this dominant, but hey, you can always see with Apeks when they put work in. I think that this is always a squad that, especially when they have the likes of a Deadlock, I really enjoy watching them play. I think Molesy was playing it a while back on Ascent as well, and it just looked like they have a lot of cool ideas, but as we saw mentioned in the last map, when it comes down to more individualistic sort of styles, I don't think that's where they really thrive. NAVI right now, it really does feel like they're just running straight into a brick wall, and a brick wall that has plenty of layers to it, a switch up of where those sensors sit once again. Before they were around middle, now Penny is waiting there. The Viper screen is probably the only bit that stayed static, and again, you see that wall utilized once they're pressured. They're even going to use the Hunter's Fury off the back of it, knowing that some of these angles will be a little bit more narrow, and Batu with the spam has caught that opener as well.
NAVI really being hammered in here. Losing the opening pick. Getting nothing for their trouble. Space kept by the camera and the trap towards that B site. Apeks are now fleeing the scene. Leaving Avova a little more isolated. He hasn't been caught in the close corner, but he stood on the angle, ready for the fight. Spots them and falls back. No need to over-aggress in a round like this. The advantage already secured. With him at the time solo holding, and with those deadlock traps waiting for a player to go running in. It won't be Alexic, obviously, with him already being down. Gives him a good chance when push comes to shove here for NAVI, which is right about now. 30 seconds.
Out of time.
25 on the clock. They need to go.
They haven't even broken any of the utility yet. That's the main worry. They're now going to go running straight in. The net's online as well. That's just been utilized. That's something else they have to deal with. Like, they're not baiting out the utility of Apeks, and now they're just running into the site with almost the entirety of the squad just waiting on the cross. 6 seconds left. They need to get that spike down, and well, they have managed to find the kills. They've run out of time. I don't think they've got it. Oh, that was on like 0. That was literally on 0. I don't know how they managed to make that one stick. I won't lie, I didn't believe the entirety of the time. But somehow running in with, what was it, like 8 seconds, they managed to kill everyone and plant?
Swear I saw 3.5 on the board when they went to plant that, but
I'm guessing it was an error at the top.
It must have been. Because that right there looked like it was done, and I have to commend Batu for the fact that he sat back, he waited over on short. Oh, it is a razor wire.
No time, no time! No.
At least we weren't the only ones. We weren't the only ones.
It feels good to be validated like that. Right there with us. Yeah, it definitely looked like the clock was going to be their biggest enemy there, but in the end, they do grab that
especially
plant.
with 4 players there, I feel like a little bit of a fumble from Apeks. Obviously, you're the 6-1 in the lead, but when you have 4 players on site and your opponents get stuck in a net with like a few seconds left, probably should have had that one. We'll see if it comes back to bite them. It's worth noting that Na'Vi have had their struggles on this attack side versus mates. In Turkey, they managed 0 rounds out of 7. But this one's already looking a lot better over under pressure. Batu's done well. That res a lot quicker than it used to be. Still just trying to sit in the corner, but he has no help up until this run through the smoke, but it's too little too late.
Only Malsey left and the entirety of the squad up against him. They've got the credits to go for this. Only in round number 8. But evidently not worth throwing away. An in-zone flawless on the side of NAVI. 5 players left alive, a second round on the board, now chaining them together. But the good thing is Apeks still have that fallback of economy. Still, it's going to start to weigh on them. If you see NAVI really kick open this door and walk their way back into the series, considering the fact that that round with time on their side, they should have had that locked in. It just took a half of a second for the player hiding on site to swing out. But they got a little too eager, a little ahead of themselves, and a little caught up in the momentum of the 6-round streak.
It's not even half, it's probably about 0.1. Yeah. Like the difference was ridiculous. Here we go. A bit of a pace change once again. As said, I wanted to see Na'Vi put the pressure on. Ruxic has managed to get into the backlines very early on. His paranoia is perfect. And now we're starting to see that Na'Vi from the previous map. The confident Na'Vi, the aggressive Na'Vi. Drone going to be sent through. Surely he has to flee. Paranoia even going to be on the other side. And Batu's caught hero. This round definitely isn't done just yet.
No, there is still a heart beating on the side of Apeks. They need this round to keep the momentum flowing. Avova dropping Angel. Reveal on Ruxic is perfect, but he's not alone. He's got Alexic here with him. Xiao comes out of the smoke to take the fight together. Avova and Malsey now need to combine, but they've been isolated. A 3rd round for NAVI. It all comes from that small mistake 3 rounds ago. The momentum firmly in the attacker's favor now. Still, those credits are there for a buyback.
I think we're finally starting to see sort of what I was mentioning, where if you allow them to just have that timing on delay, like, oh, they're pushing now, we'll throw a net. Oh, they're pushing now, we'll throw a wall. Oh, like, just give them that timing. It's a very easy sort of map for Apeks. So
I believe it is, Tom.
Yes.
Angel started his career just a little bit after Hero was born. That's, I'm sure he'd love that statistic being shared.
Yeah.
We'll send that to him after. 6-3. And it is for Apeks a difficult pill to swallow, knowing that they have invited their demons back into this map. They left the door open. NAVI walked right through, and now on half the rounds when previously they struggled to get anything on the board. Good space though for Apeks. Utility pushing NAVI back. Orb taken.
But they have A main control, B main control. It's only mid that is even into question. That's the position on the map that they're trying to close in on. So, and Na'Vi, they kind of need an opener just to open a gap on the map. Instead, they're going to try running through. Alexic's caught himself with his own stun, but they have at least got the space, and Angel's found the kill onto Batu. Even still, though, an immediate trade.
Yeah, it was a mistake to spam through. Luckily, all these errors bailed them out, but with Malsey being caught in the rotate back through, that causes a problem. Hero continues the aggression. Alexic was there, and they met up with a flurry of frags and Avova fleeing the site. They've seen him running away. Alexic already speeding his way towards this A site.
Almost out.
They don't want him to save this weapon. They could have a big economic advantage coming into the next. They will anyways, but dropping Avova just multiplies those problems, and it's Alexic's 3rd to put 4 on the board for NAVI. 2 rounds behind now. A fraction of a second decided their fate, and now they could be neck and neck at the halftime.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. It looked like the second they were broken, there was just no going back. And what it seemed like for NAVI, the second they got their foot in the door, it was just a completely different map. They've started to really disrespect that utility, even run through a lot of it. Like, oh, you've got your Viper Orb here. We'll stun behind it and we'll run into our own stun if we have to. And well, I think Alexic has done very well to get them some openers in situations where he has a massive disadvantage. Batu once again looking for some aggressive presence. Now, he does have Annihilation online, so could try and steal a player away, but it's probably not the time to do it. He has the net, and the net, of course, does get him information if it catches a player. For now, though, he's going to try and utilize that ult, and it has caught the player, but while Ruxic escapes for a millisecond.
Oh, Alexic's running through that cage. Batu ready and waiting on this corner. He's being fed kill after kill, but then Hero and Xiao, they interrupt the flow. The Dominoes falling no more, and a chance. Plenty of time on the clock. The only problem is that they're being boxed in by Avova, who now has them contained in main. And he knows they haven't made it out already.
I was going to say, it makes me a bit nervous, because Avova's not been having a great time, and while Hero checks the angle, hits the shot, and somehow we've gone back into a seemingly favorable situation as well, and already this swing for okay. I was nervous for Molzy. He goes alone, but luckily this time he does deliver. Both kills found. Apeks at least will have a lead.
At least by 2. Great interruption from them. Again, it comes on the back of this 3K from Batu, though. Some mistakes made by Navi, swinging one at a time. Obviously, the first you can't blame. And a hero play by Molzy in the end to shut down that double push.
It doesn't even look happy they won the round.
But I think I can understand looking at that. Like, the fact that Avova gets caught in mid is upsetting. And then the fact that Molzy takes that big risk, that doesn't go his way. This whole half is gone. Another pick for Molzy, though. He's doing remarkably well. Avova's been able to escape somehow. He is out of there scot-free. That's a 5v4.
Oh, it's not pretty. The hero of last map would have killed him and some, but the job has been done. It does also feel like Alexic basically has to win these 1v1s. Okay, a little pick. But yeah, if he doesn't, the trades are so far behind. There's no one really following up. It does feel like he's left alone in a lot of these rounds, and while it was the same in the last map, but he was successful, now the dominoes are falling one by one. Walking into angles that are being held by Apeks, and in the end, it's going to come out as an in-zone flawless for an 8-4 half for Apeks.
Switching sides.
A great recovery on map number 1. Apeks are here to play. It's NAVI that have to climb back up, and if there is a player to carry them to victory here, they move to that second half. You look at Alexic, hero as well from the previous map, who was on fire. See if they can recapture the flame of that first map. Let's talk a little bit, or let's listen a little bit about Alexic, because
setups. I think they have some very good executes and have shown that at least the prep side of Apeks has always been very, very good. So I'm not too worried for them going into the attack. I think this is now their map to lose, but I have to wait and see what they have on offer.
Well, this pistol could be something that secures us, or at least gets us one step closer to that third map of Corrode. Navi already with a great read. Look to the players on the site to not overcommit. They've almost lost Angel.
Yeah.
4 HP to a spam through the smoke, and that's not really the kind of mistake you want to see here at the start. Luckily, he's still drawing breath. Has that flash ready for them to push through, but they've given away the flank with the drone. It's being watched by Olizera, and he will at least survive the initial engagement.
I wonder if they must have just assumed they've been caught, because using the drone, it seems almost pointless of flanking at that point, but hey, they've already found one back. They're going to need quite a bit more. Molzy just styling on them in this pistol round. Hero hoping he can find something, and Angel was dropped so low from the spams. It's a done deal in this round for Apeks. They'll take their 9th and look to head us towards that map number 3 of Corrode.
9-4, double digits on the horizon for Apeks, and Navi looking down and out compared to the previous. They had that streak of rounds that came off the back of, well, a razor-thin wire separating them from defeat and victory over in half number 1. But there hasn't really been consistency. You look at that first map, I remember a point where Hero was 19-3.
Yep.
Alexic was heating up as well in a lot of those battles, and well, it's definitely a different flavor than Navi coming into this one. That's not the nade we were looking for.
Yeah, we saw the net thrown in the last round, and they're using it to catch that player who pressure's on the corner. This time, NAVI are fully on the flank. They don't have a drone, so they're not going to be doing that this time. And this is a free kill onto Molzy. As long as they take it, there's still another player to deal with. Ollie, zero, well placed! And only with a ghost in hand, but that doesn't seem to matter. Angel, 22 HP. We've already seen a debut 4K come out for Penny. And it seems like the rest of the team are trying to give the debut ace over to Ollie Zera. First time in the Tier 1, looking to get it over the line. And he will have the ace to boot. A huge step up in this second map. And someone that we should definitely be excited for.
Well, this definitely isn't what I expected after map number 1.
No.
Tom. Not only dominating, but finding an ace with a ghost of all weapons. After opening, pick found. He returns it ×5. A wonderful start to his career here on the EMEA stage. Ollie Zera 16-9, and Apeks 10-4. A chance to run away with this map, maybe even to dish out exactly the same medicine they were fed by NAVI in map number 1. It's this rifle round that will decide. Oh, the pace of how this ends, and Ruxic with a double. Well, you certainly put to bed the rumors that NAVI are down and out of this map.
Yeah, he still had his individual moments. Round where he rushed through mid and what. Penny has at least been spotted. The thing is, this game's been weird though. I don't feel like there's been a single round where, especially in like a 3v5 or where there's a significant advantage where I'm going, oh, it's done. I feel like both teams have had slip-ups and errors. Now the cam being shot has given the game away. It seems like for now the goal is to just farm up those orbs. With the spike still back towards the spawn, eventually Avova is going to make it into position. Hero's actually pushing, but hey, clearly feeling back to confidence on this defense side.
Definitely a good sign. NAVI,
30 seconds
Avova
left.
and Molzy left to be dropped. 31 on Molzy. The wall just about kept him alive. Avova on the push-up doesn't know that Xiao is stood on high. It will be an in-zone flawless for NAVI. Now, I mean, that wasn't exactly a full buy round for Apeks. They don't have everything. Their coffers emptied, but still a sign of life on the other side. And Apeks know how quickly this can snowball for NAVI after map 1.
Yeah, in zone they've got to be having an absolute field day. There's been so many flawless rounds in this match. I don't know I've ever seen something like it. Did you say they've got 3 chances? I like that. It's not saying it needs to be perfect. It just needs to be close to perfect. It's been a different looking game. Expectation definitely not still the same. And Molzy already is going to be starting things off well with the Hunter's Fury. It's been a move to complete pace. Ruxic was the hero of the last round, would need to be the same again as Avova's won that fight. And Penny just decides, you know what, I'm getting out of here. We can rotate the spike to the other side, make sure this round is over. I think we call that 2 chances now.
Well, unless Ruxic with 54 HP in the 1v3 is about to make a sensational play.
Probably not.
No, it doesn't feel like it. He's going to bleed a lot of time clearing all these corners, waiting for a player with all that space lost, and them knowing where he was. There's a good chance that someone would be hiding around any one of them. But Apeks aren't looking to take risks. They're not looking to offer 1v1s. Playing towards the spawn with 2. Off Penny's contact, Molzy can swing. Avova used as somewhat of a human recon. On his 5 health, just covering the flank, and eventually he's the rest of the squad.
He's smoked off the other side of the map to bait them that he's there, so they then run through on this side. That's really clever from Ruxic. That is brilliant, honestly. Well played. Like, he couldn't win the round, but he did a lot of damage by doing that. And you even saw in the moment, when that smoke went down in B main, they pinged the edge of the smoke going, okay, there's a smoke here. He must be in mid, and rotate it back around. Can't win it, but that's incredibly intelligent way to clear all of the guns.
Yeah, he gave up on the round, rightfully so. There was no way that was going his way. If he pushes into them, you could see the setup waiting for him in spawn was a deadly one. So he did. for round number 12. Apeks on the attack, a direct play set up. This should be a split through B. Shock Dart primed to already fly through and take down a trap. Batu's about to walk into one. He's being caught. The spam causes damage. Ult goes through, doesn't find them. Xiao's already dead, but he found Penny through the wall. Put Batu down to a sliver of health. He does manage to make it to the site with the rest of his team. In goes the Viper's pit to play inside of. Spam could take down Batu. For now, at least. Plant is secured inside the pit.
This battle could be very important. It's not pretty, but Ruxic gets the job done. Paranoia sent through, but there is still a player on the other side waiting for him. I think realizing that they need to clear this one out. Olizir has done well within his own pit. Ruxic on that flank again. Hero as well. It's left of Vova, who's about to be revealed, but finds safety within the smoke. Safety doesn't last forever though. Tried to make a play and Hero is waiting. I think that's another round where you really have to give credit to Ruxic. I think clearing all of that backline on his own gave so much space to everyone else.
Yeah, he did a lot of work. It was Batu that he was up against, who obviously was tagged so desperately low after that initial fight.
He got Mosey as well.
Xiao doing so much damage. Yeah, from that point, you look in the pit, never going to be a favorable fight to take, but
This is a nice spot.
managed to win it out in the end, clear out the pit. It's once all these era goes down that just puts too much pressure on the rest of the squad. 6th on the board, 5 rounds between them, and here's the benefit of Ruxic lurking outside B, finding those exit kills just a few ago. No money left in the coffers of Apeks.
I will say, from Mini earlier saying that he was really excited to see the Angel KO, it's been quite weird. He's only got 4 kills, so I don't know. 5.
There we go.
5.
He heard you.
Just about won a kill versus an ecoing player.
I mean, is it really a win when you get traded like that? I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
The Mini would say so.
The 1-for-1's
He's
on the
gonna
defense.
kill us. He's been hitting the gym. I don't know if we can take him anymore, even as
he
2.
was looking buff.
Yeah, I know.
He opened a door earlier.
That was the main reason I watched the pre-show.
He opened a door earlier. It almost came off the hinges. Looked like Evan. 4v4. NAVI still with the big advantage, but the space taken here. A few gaps spotted and taken advantage of here by Apeks. They're up close. Xiao swings out with a knife in hand. They know they conceded the space. That's a big mistake. The stun, good. Hero still able for 1. Mini calls that a win. It's a 3 versus 2. NAVI on the back foot.
Luckily for them, Ruxic's still alive. He's going to go TPing forward, trying to just bait them into a panic, trying to push them into Alexa. Come on, now he has to do it all. It really has been him trying to save them. And while it was a pay-safe card, Thrifty, a round that really shouldn't have gone the other way, but it just feels like NAVI are making error after error. Maybe not realizing or maybe not calling positions that they've lost, but that was a huge oversight.
Well, we didn't know what to expect from this series, but I have to say I was a bit disappointed after map number 1. The winless Apeks up against the former giant, shrunk down to size of NAVI. It looked like it was just going to be a dominant showing from NAVI. It would continue the streak of losses from Apeks, and what that meant most importantly was we wouldn't get to see Corrode. But how things have changed. 1 win away, 6 chances to close this out. NAVI already losing Ruxic, the standout player on this map.
Yeah.
They have not got a lot of strong weapons to fall back on.
And another solid net lineup that has left a player in real problems. As I said, I always like the sort of tech that we see coming out from the deadlock of Apeks. Penny primed and ready. Angel looking to come around the corner. He's been seen as well, so they're going to swing straight onto him. The net from a teammate's not helped, but it has helped out for Malsey. Xiao left to try and do it all. A nice shot for 1, but ultimately an immediate response for Apeks.
Versus the Fade. I think the Fade's a clear winner, at least in my mind.
Beautiful.
No Viper? Are you kidding me?
It was beautiful.
Angel on the KO?
That sort of. That is what I was going to get to. We had that nice little clip at the beginning of Mini telling us that double initiators are dead, and we have 2 double initiators.
Let's go.
Somehow I might believe that Mini was right, but we'll see after the game.
I'll give him the credit. It was all about Toronto. That's where he was making those learnings from, and this map wasn't there. And a map with so many corners to clear.
Show match. Judge Ace.
All right. Yes, the Judge Ace indeed. But this is very much where I expect something like a double initiator. If you're going to have a map in the pool that benefits from it, a map with so many corners, so many crevices, it makes sense that this would be the one. I'm a big fan of Viper on this map. The mid lurks can do so much. Neither team going for it. I'm curious to see what their ideas are for the late game, for the rifle rounds, for those mid lurks.
Very direct. Pot flash being set up. Smoke just going down. I think the desk was slightly excited by the shower fade. The flash is perfect though. And that has allowed Alexic to just walk in and find 2 picks. He's back on that jet once again and already looking incredibly comfortable.
A solid start indeed. The flash from Angel. He had a tough time on KO in the previous, not providing much value, but walking straight into the Sheriff. Alexic picking up a triple. Another one of Mini's lessons was that this Sheriff can do so much, but the final one will be put on the ground for Apeks.
Oh, I thought the final one was have fun.
Not the lesson, Tom.
Oh.
Final Sheriff for Apeks. 1-0 start for the attacking side. A solid showing. Talking about the initiators as well, I think you've got a lot of variety in what can be run here. Killjoy, probably not so much. Such a big map, you're often going to find yourself rotating out of that space. But looking between a Vice and Cypher, you have a lot of arguments for both, especially with so many wall-bangable angles. You look towards that A site, even on the B side as well, so many corners and crevices to hide in, to catch them on the trips. But then the delay ability of a Vice is so strong as well.
I think, especially in early days, you do get one of two. You either get everybody running the same comp for eternity until somebody proves that that comp sucks, or in some cases they don't. Look back to Icebox. Or, and I think more likely nowadays with how many different variations of agents we have, you're going to see a lot of changes. Like they showed earlier in the desk 4 different compositions that were run over in China. And already 2 different ideas being shown out here. At least with the initiators, I imagine there's more to comfort for Angel. Thanks for helping out, Ruxic.
Yeah, that could have been a little bit disastrous. Malzy sneaks away from the reveal. He's got a low HP player there as well, but won't be able to take him. Angel, hot on the heels of his friend, of his teammate, taking the trades and leaving a 4 versus 1. A classic in the hands of Avova. I wasn't tracking what was left behind, but I don't imagine it's anything major on the floor. Oh, it'll just be a ghost upgrade.
Yeah. NAVI were always the team that sort of brought through this 3 rifles, 2 pistols, so it's not overly surprising that there isn't a crazy amount to be found. Ruxic is honed in on the angle, loses it though. Why? It should at least be Hero to be able to find that extra gun, so it's not too much, but that was impressive that he even won that fight.
Yeah. A real chance with Angel so low if he had caught him off guard. That could have been a pick with just 1 bullet. Yeah, not bad. A lot of potential in this round for Apeks already. This is really where we get to see their ideas. Rifles come out. We talked about the preparation and how different it can look when Apeks are ready. Their map pick Sunset, almost as dominant as Icebox. I imagine this is one that they're very ready for.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Na'Vi on mid, because when I think back to the initial stages of Split, they're one of the best attack side mid players, and I feel like there's a lot of parallels with that sort of up-top window, space being fought for regularly. Penny is actually looking to swing out even while still under the suppression. Didn't have that ability to escape, but with Alexic already tagged up, he's now the one that somewhat takes the risk. Now in the last map, I felt like every time he took a fight, he was way ahead of everyone else, be that on him or be that on somebody else on the team not following up. I want that to change for this map.
Apeks have taken control over A main. A late push up. Now the thing about the Cypher, if you're against the Vice, you know that wall's on one side of the map. If they swap it up, maybe you've got space to walk in, but Cypher will always have those trips, not worth committing too far forward. But now Hero's down. That could get the players pushing up a little bit more quickly towards A main, but for now at least they stand ready and in position. I think a large part of that is they need these smokes to deny the late fights. Batu's giving up the space on mid. A push in towards the defender spawn. Will there be anyone to link back up with? They're losing players across the map. Even nice shot onto Avova. But coming towards mid, there's a big danger. Malzy is about to catch the spike with his back turned. That's a free pick for Malzy. 20 seconds on the clock. But Ruxic still flying under the radar.
Yeah, it almost seems pointless though. They need to actually reclaim that. Finally, he will pounce, but in the meantime, they need to get rid of Molzy, and he actually goes down. 10 seconds, they got a full sprint towards this B side and get that planting almost immediately. It will be going down if they could stop it from being killed, and they're just holding on to the angle. Rook6 up above. Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe not expecting them to just sprint through it, but well, I don't know why Apeks wouldn't.
Yeah, with the time as well, they had to read that if he's planting, he should be a bit more exposed. Maybe it would have to be a wall bang, but as we could see, that angle was wide open. Just a huge misread to not have Rook6 still covering that angle. Where, as well, they knew that there were players. They had been fought just a second before that fade of Xiao rounded the corner. He'd been shot at, so there's someone hot on your heels. And they just chose to ignore the danger.
I'm kind of surprised we don't see the other players kind of like try and group back up while Rook6 has that space. Like, play around him rather than sort of spreading out and looking for clues. It definitely made things that little bit more difficult.
I mean, Angel wasn't even clearing corners. He was just sprinting to the side.
Wow. Zera had a great recovery in the last map. Tries to play off the flash, but now at least some of his utility has diminished. The wall now being expected as well. So for NAVI, they don't necessarily have to play off of this. Just looking to try and clear some of that util early. Batu re-clearing into mid with a pop flash behind, which does land, but they're not able to play off it. And now they'll reset back towards the B site again, where a lot of that utility is faded, just the flash.
Flash doesn't catch the player inside the Cloudburst. Olizera reposition, though I love this. Down below, so wall bangable. He has to find value right away. They're going to pounce after that first pick. Still, players rotating in. 2 detected on the back of the site. Wrap around from Rook6 is good. He'll drop Batu, putting a lot of pressure on with the heaven peak from Alexic, securing the site. Now it's on to Penny and Avova to fight their way back through. Penny to find the first, but a low HP Angel just about wins that battle. With Penny tagged up. The hard work seemingly done for NAVI. They'll be right back to winning ways with the attack side building up to 3. And Penny possibly wanting to save this rifle. You see him backing off, and look how low the credits are for so many of these players. I think it's the right call.
Yeah, my main worry a little bit early in this game is that it does feel like the setup of Olizera was figured out quite quickly. Okay, he's got the wall, he's got the flash up top, and obviously the thorns to delay. So NAVI just baited it, pretended they fell back, took the orb, went away, and then came back. And it didn't feel like Apeks had really adapted for the fact that he didn't have any utility anymore. It was down to just, okay, can Olizera on half HP find a multi-frag? Otherwise, we give up the site. And okay, the players had sort of shifted a little bit further towards middle, but it still felt like he really didn't have any support. And what with the amount of space that was lost, heaven taken as well.
Nice surge towards B as well.
It ended up working out quite easily for the side of NAVI in that one. At least for now. Gonna have that hero rifle. Something to play around, but not likely something that can change the round unless Penny's gonna just pop off once again.
Penny's been revealed. Has a gate crash to fall back to, but he'll be leaving this A space wide open if he does. Now he doesn't have a choice. The knife has hit. This is the rifle that Apeks have. You can't see it go down in an awkward fight. Has to be set up to win. Olizera and Molzy down and out of the round. They may just take this back in the other direction. With Avova down, though, that'll spur them forward, and it's an easy fight. They'll run through the smoke, gets the pick, and Angel's still watching flank. They had 2 players for that mid control in the late round. A great play by NAVI gets them 4-1 flawlessly.
Yeah, it's sort of what I mentioned as well, though. They seem to very heavily focus on that middle control. And as I said, that was something I was always impressed with NAVI, be it this map or take Ascent, another one of their very strong maps in the past with the attack side of Ascent, and how they were able to dominate that map control. That Xiao fade was a big part of that map as well. And I think they're doing very well to sort of deny Apeks that additional information. Like, okay, we're back. I'll say, like, you can kind of compare them to Gentlemates and how much they're sort of willing to spend to try and make this work, to try and stay within VCT EMEA. Of course, the pickup of Comeback is something I think everybody is incredibly excited for. Penny, aggressive. He's actually been hit, but waits around. Alexic tried to make a play off the back of it, and well, that's going to be an easy opener. It is the same setup once again, but Olizera's position has moved completely. He'll find a second kill already.
Much better face from Team Apeks. B-site well defended, flash, wall, and thorns waiting there alongside 2 players and a quick rotation possible from Batu. NAVI are making the right call to bring this in a different direction. And Batu, we talked a lot about the wall bang ability towards that A site, but it's worth noting it's very similar here in middle. And you're going to see the Odin in full effect. The problem is he doesn't have the information. A slow contact play from NAVI, but here comes a peek. That's the spike on its own. Angel. He's called for a Scooby-Doo, his best Fred impression, and he's down and out of the round. Ruxic, at least able to recover one. But there's 30 seconds left. And again, it will be towards this B site, where there's still plenty of numbers waiting. Wall and Thorns to block out that main play. It has to be Ruxic to turn the tide in their favor. A fight up against Malzy that he loses in this round with the Thorns up. It's already done.
Yeah, it's going to be an attempt from Xiao to at least do a little bit of damage. They have the credits that they can still go back into this one, but hey, it has been the case where it just feels like either they are so convinced when they've cleared something that nobody can ever be there ever again, which definitely seems like a huge oversight, or that just Angel's decided today he doesn't want to check any angles. Because that's happening a lot. He's like, right, guys, you say this is clear? Okay, I'm going to go for a straw into this angle. And if it's not clear, it's not my fault. Because that's the second time that's happened now with the spike.
That one less forgivable. Before he was alone.
I think the last one was forgivable.
No, not that much, but here, like, he was stood hand on shoulder of his teammate. His teammate goes Link, and he goes, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to go my own way. Oh, nice opening, though, by Angel. He's checked his corners! Let's go!
Well, Ruxic kind of did check that one for him with the TP jump, but you know what? Who cares? Angel is fragging. He's pulling out that old school aim. 2 openers already. And while I don't know if Batu's getting away with that one, clearly he heard us talking smack and has decided to put his foot down.
Us? I mean, you. I mean, this is a reason I've always believed in Angel, especially on the KO. I think if I didn't say it coming into this map, I definitely meant to. His KO, I just 100%, I'm all in, 300% in on it.
You and Minnie? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, me and Minnie, we're great minds and we think alike. That's why we make a great team.
I agree. That between you, there is a great mind.
That's rude, Tom. I wouldn't be so disrespectful to Minnie.
Right, yeah, to Minnie. Nonetheless, this is looking like it's completely changed from the last round. Angel is looking to get a quad kill, and not quite. 5 HP, won't be a flawless this time, but Hero is quickly there to respond. It was a solid round from the side of Apeks, and maybe a little bit more disjointed. Navi just go back to being this more direct team, find that early fight, and well, I'll be honest, a lot of that just came down to Angel winning fights.
It's worth noting as well for Apeks, like we're saying, this is a squad that needs... He did. That's a little KO pun as well. I like that. He's deleted them. Cleared the flash drive. Yeah, so for Apeks, obviously this is something that has been haunting them throughout all of VCT in this year. No, not Angel. No, the lack of a win. And they've got KC, Team Liquid, and Fnatic to face.
So it gets easier from
I did leave out Koi.
Why?
Don't read into that. But those are some tough matchups.
I've heard they've got a monster on their side.
They do, quite literally.
The man's a beast.
All right. Well, that was a joke not many people will get, and I'm thankful for that. So yeah, looking at Apeks, like this is their best opportunity to put a win on the board.
Other than Koi.
Well, you said that, Tom. That's very rude.
True.
We just don't know how Koi will match up power level-wise, right? That's what I was getting at. You're just a horrible person.
Okay.
So for NAVI,
I'm all right with that.
Probably the weakest of the bunch, a team that has 6 out of 10 losses so far.
How many have Koi got?
It's not worth mentioning at this point. It's a different roster, Tom, and I think that's the important thing. You know,
so you're just trying to save yourself when you go back on the Spanish stream.
No, that's I would never be biased.
Okay.
I believe in all. I hope all the teams have fun.
Right. Except Navi, it seems.
Except Navi.
Well, already the Steel Garden being set up, a chance to remove the weaponry for the majority
30 seconds
of the players on the other side, and the time is starting to tick down. It's already looking rough. They have taken away The utility on the other side. Now the guns come back to play, but Na'Vi have got to move. 15 seconds left as they look to head into the B site. Stacked up B site. This is where the majority of players are currently sitting. Shock Dart going to be combined with a Hunter's Fury, and that spike has dropped to the deck. They have not got anybody to pick that back up. Off the time is going to be the victory for Apeks. And well, solid ultimate usage for them this round. They had to commit a lot to be able to bring that one home. But to be honest, with the lower economy that they had, I think it was worth it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. You know, you smell that blood in the water, you get a hint of it, you got to dive straight on it. No point saving it for the next, and then the opportunities don't present themselves for Apeks. Trading these rounds back and forth. Shock darts from Batu did damage, and the Hunter's Fury only needed that one pulse.
Nice.
Great commitment from the defensive side. And remember, we don't really know how this map's going to shape up, either one. Because as we move through it, you know, defense, do they need 3 rounds? Do they need 8? With this comp as well, you never know.
Yeah, I'd always, with new maps, I'd always lean it slightly more to the attack side than you normally would. Just because you can kind of group up, you can play into defensive, and having, especially on a big map as well, it's always a little bit more difficult to get those rotation timings there
this
early on.
Horrendous for rotations.
Ruxic, though, picks up the operator off the corpse of Alexic. Managed to take down Molzy. Now, Molzy has been involved in an awful lot of the setup. He always is. Now, Batu is going to try and make a play, and it was a gamble and a half.
You can see the benefit on defense of having someone like a Yoru to make those mid-round plays. We just saw there, TP back towards the A site. Now he's going to be the only defender. If this was any other agent, he'd only be on his way now. He wouldn't be anywhere close to where he is, and this site would be wide open, but still, he has got enemies at the gates, numbers all around him. Paranoia landed, and in goes the nade alongside the C's. Maybe he wishes he wasn't there so quickly. He's just been decimated.
This just felt like another one of those dominoes rounds. But the problem I have with it is they weren't at a disadvantage until they started swinging. Like, okay, Molzy gets caught with by an operator at top mid, when you'd already killed the player at the op, I can forgive that one. But then you have Batu swing. Moments later, you then have the swing, I think it was from Avova, just into blind territory. You've got no information. And at the end, yeah, Penny's trying to basically clutch versus the whole squad, but you've already let that round slip away with just a kind of unnecessary aggression that didn't have any supportive utility alongside it. And especially when, okay, at this point you are only on a single initiator, but the first 2 players to die are both your initiators, it's a bit more of a problem. Angel's going to die to the spike at the end, because why not?
That's Angel, mate.
It was a really tight round where the spike was like ticking really quick at the end as well.
I think there
was no way he could have got out.
You know, he might have thought he heard them tap it.
Just
ran back in, threw himself on the grenade for the team. You know, you really got to respect the call. But this was nasty. And the fact that he gets hit by all of that, and then Angel just shoots him through the smoke.
New map, new things.
It's the spike radius is different on this map, you know, because there's all of that refined radionite crystal. Yeah, no, that, you know.
I'll be honest, I just want to know what Angel's saying at the end of every round. I feel like it's just a highlight of that.
Here we go, flash through, pressure on, but Ruxic able to get out. Sub 40 HP left on him, but that op survives.
Yeah, they've done well to sort of avoid having to deal with a lot of this B site utility. Wall. That's caused them a few issues, but yeah, just trying to bait it. There we go. Got there in the end. But the problem is, the second this happens, the defensive side have to shift. Now, they've already got Molzy in play this time on that side of the map. As said, a lot of the time I felt like Olazero was left alone. But I think Na'Vi have realized that, okay, once we activate that wall, they have to move, they have to go looking for information. So we can just go back wherever we want.
Gate crash faded. There's no way out for Penny. He's got to stand his ground inside the smoke, but the pressure comes around on short. It's Avova up close.
30 seconds.
Backs out after Penny finds the first. They've got the numbers to work with. Damage done to Ruxic from earlier. Avova just about making it out before Alexa can get that angle on him. And the run through from the ult. Find all the info. They've missed the fact there's a player up on the box.
Yep.
They didn't see Alexic. Forgot to look up, and now that's a pick back in the other direction. And Penny gets caught. The other players wrapping around through elbow. They've caught them off guard. This is a great response from NAVI. A couple of kills going the other way, but Ruxic with the op surviving that initial fight, still having a fingerprint on the late round and closing it out as well. NAVI up to 7.
Yeah, Ruxic's been really impressive today. I think we saw glimpses of it when it went back to like last season as well, like what this guy can do. But he's currently 12-2. Like, he has not been dying. He's picked up the operator in a couple of rounds, found them openers as well, and then just a safe pair of hands. Like for someone again who's still a young player within the scene, he is playing like someone with a lot more experience. 7-3, another dominant looking first half. And other than like some success with the B setup, which again NAVI has started to try and adapt to, there really hasn't been a whole lot of success so far in this defensive half.
Ruxic's looking for a pick, but he's being caught by Avova. Sheriff in hand. Mid push comes out after it. It feels like a little bit of overcommitment. They've already found the opening, and I believe that will be an opt down for the recovery. Batu lands one. That corner's been a big problem for NAVI. The wall bang recovers it. The numbers still in their favor. And having forced those players back on A main, they've at least denied the op being recovered. So all of these fights still relatively easy. Xiao caught in the corner, but he's got backup. He's got cover. And Olizera will only find the one.
The thing is, I feel like the ideas there from Apeks are very good.
Yep.
But they just didn't quite manage to execute Xiao. That was the main problem. He had the spike in the corner, didn't have a lot of support, and just about managed to survive with all the different pieces of the utility that were thrown at him. 8-3. It's a closer one. Ultimately, the scoreline is all that's really reflecting at this stage. NAVI running away with this. Now, as I said, I think there's still a real world where it's going to be a fairly attack-sided map as we first get into things. But I do worry with Hero on that Cypher. What we could see, that is a whiffed shot. And while they're fighting for this mid-control again, Midge, it really hasn't been going fantastically well. Mosey's done all right, but the re-swing, I guess he had to, because otherwise he's just stuck in that same corner, but yeah, I don't think he was ever getting out of there alive.
I don't mind the idea this time. Like, sometimes it's felt like overcommitment, and I think he can point to the last round as an example where they're a little bit desynergized. Avova's coming back out, though. That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's maybe that one's a little bit of overcommitment to the fight. 2v3, it's hard to defend the map, spread out and isolated, but now you've thrown the round away. Any chances gone completely, and again, you don't have that extra layer of Olizera swinging down. I feel like that could be more synergized. But initially having Penny go out, the flash coming in from Halsey, there was an idea. It just didn't work out. 9 rounds for NAVI at the halftime. Let's see how attacker-sided this map is for Apeks after the break. Initiator. Let's level up the game.
You sure you were talking to Mini and not Pal? They do look very similar now that Mini has been hitting the gym somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe that was it, actually. The accents are fairly similar.
Trying to steal their Ascent comp.
9-3. It's Apeks on the attack that need this pistol. No matter how strong you think the attack can be with those longer rotations, it takes a long time to get from A to B. Without that Yoru as well, those rotations will be even slower, less options.
Oh,
but a pistol round lost, that might just be the beginning of the end, and already NAVI in with 2. Players walking through smokes and cages into a crossfire. They'll eventually fall back, but look who is waiting.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, wow. That was like a magic trick. Houdini's on the server. Just disappears after the first, and while Alexic definitely not looking to overface and risk throwing this round away, he is happy to just sit back in the spawn. Well, just look at the angles that need to be cleared by Molsey. A deep position from Xiao. They know that he can't go through the spawn, so they know that there's no real reason to have cover on that A site just yet, and it's only going to be if he directly clears it, which he does, to be fair. Molsey is going to check the angle, even has an idea that Alexic might just be watching back towards the spawn. He's reading it well, but he has taken a hell of a lot of damage. A spike plant could be possible, but you could already see Angel smells blood in the water. He's looking to rotate in quickly.
Seen him.
Just try and deny any opportunity to get those extra credits.
He has definitely seen him. They accelerate up. Flash not good. Molsey managed to dodge it. Apeks' winless streak is going to continue. They chose the wrong side to push, not least because Hero's able to find that through the smoke, but you have 3 players ready and waiting. All angles on lockdown, some even playing anti-flash. And you're running through smokes and cages. That was a guaranteed win for NAVI from the jump.
It's only been individual rounds won thus far by Apeks, a flash in the pan, or in some cases, like NAVI just running out of time. This is already looking like another brutal map. Well done, at least, from Batu. That will be a gun for Penny. I wonder if that might be juggled into slightly healthier hands. Especially with Malsey sat nearby, but now at least, it looks like they want to give Penny the chance.
Well, they're certainly taking their time, but it's going to be worth it. Xiao spotted, Seas goes in, player up close, Xiao wins the fight, 7 HP. He's not long for this world, but he takes another down with him, even makes it out as well. It's Ruxic that goes down for his trouble. A trade so close to being possible. The damage done here onto Xiao. It could have gotten the spike planted, but now the spike's down in the open, and Xiao is a thorn in their side. Well played by Penny, but Angel in there with his 3rd. The KO we all wanted to see starting out this map, 11-3 now. The lead locked in.
He's 17 and 5. Like, Angel is he's balancing out his stats from the last map. I think he went like 4 or 14.
He might still be negative.
Going 17 and 5. Like, it is ridiculous. No, I think he was positive on map 1 as well.
Okay, so he's actually good.
Yeah, I think Angel's gonna, you know, he's proven the haters wrong. Unless you are a hater of Apeks, and then he might be proving you right. But nonetheless, 11-3. It's looking like from back and forth game to utter dominance. Well, not a whole lot left to play with. They did lose a rifle in the last round, so Alexic is going to be down just on a ghost. Of course, this is a bonus, but realistically at this stage, it has to be such a dominant sweep back in the other direction that it seems unlikely. Especially with the way players like Ruxic have been performing throughout, and Angel, of course. Sorry, I don't want to disrespect what you've been saying throughout the game.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you catching that before I had to put you in your place.
Yeah.
It's good to see. Good to see you're learning. Let's see if Apeks are. Only 3 rounds on the board. Rifles in their hand. Advantage there for that attack. They've put their wall towards B. That space is going to be given up eventually, and you can see Olizera backing off now. The slow shift towards the A side of the map. The drone goes up in mid. It's heard, it's seen, it's spotted. But Apeks will still take this control. There's not much they can do to deny it, unless NAVI go pushing down. And the read seems to still be towards this B site. Hero spotted one inside main. The second player seen. Avova almost makes the same mistake. Numbers thinning. But there we go. Batu stepping up. Still, Hero makes this a very digestible retake.
Yeah, the only problem is Alexic doesn't have a gun. So it definitely makes things a bit more problematic. Avova is waiting on the other side of the smoke, but there was an immediate trade. Now it's a 2v2 with rifles in hand, and, well, the top fragger, superstar, youngster prodigy of Angel is still alive and kicking.
Oh, what a shot by Angel! Now they've got the advantage. The Thorns will buy a little bit more time. Olizera stays aggressive as well. It's not expected. And he gets one and bails out through the smoke. He goes! But Ruxic deals the death blow for NAVI. 12 rounds on the board, and try as they might, Apeks, they're stuck so far behind.
There's always this thing. I feel like it's a curse with teams that maybe they're desperate for a win or this game would be really important to them, where Angel then just decides, that's when I'm going to have my game. I'm just going to disrespect you. I'm going to be swinging every angle. And these are the ones where it pays off. And
standby mode.
12-3.
Angel is powering down.
If you miss out map number 2, this looks like an incredibly dominant performance for NAVI. And while for Apeks, silver linings have stopped mattering quite a long time ago. This was a match that, even though it's early, if they were going to have a chance, it felt like needed to be a victory. They're going to have to beat some pretty heavy hitters going forward, unless they can win 9 rounds in a row. There's already a B main stack up, a paranoia set up if they need it. Olizera waiting on the angle. He's got to be careful. Angel's on the other side, but he's managed to put him down. Incredible stuff. It actually hits the dink onto Alexic as well. Hot flash over, but Alexic, even with 19 HP, is not running away.
Yeah, Olizera saw that dink and felt confident, but he was low too. Shock dart!
See ya.
Lands perfectly. Alexic down and out of the round. They haven't got the rotation off that A site just yet. Those players are still in position and now adjusting for a link to mid play.
Well, you know, Rooksic's still there.
But the thing is, they've lost their vice. Apeks have their back wide open, and I think that's why you're going to see this mid push, whether it comes deep or whether it's just a rotate through spawn. They'll have players on B soon, and Apeks need to hurry up.
Already. Paranoia, smoke. Rooksic doing a good job of slowing them down, but now they've TP'd into the site. The rotations come in. Rooksic needs to still go ham, but he has a hero alongside him. A quick triple to close things out. A 13-4 at, well, 13.